Hello, my name is Mary Furlong Minkoff. I'm the Curator of Archaeological Collections here at James Madison's Montpelier.
And I'm Jenniffer Powers, the Collections Manager for the Decorative Arts Collection at Montpelier as well. And today we're standing in the dining room and we're going to talk to you a little bit about some of the transferwares and ceramics that you see here on display in the dining room space. So we're going to talk a little bit about some of these pieces. The pieces on the table here that are whole are all part of our collection, and some of them have been loan pieces, and some of them have been generous gifts, all from the Transferware Collectors Club. And we're so grateful to their expertise and how they help us acquire these wonderful whole pieces to match what the archaeological record tells us. So I'll let Mary take it away with how the archaeological record informs the types of pieces that we acquire here at Montpelier.
Thanks, Jenniffer. So we dig up a lot of fragments of ceramics here, and many of them look alike. Lots of blue and white, as you can see on the table. But through special clues, we can tell the difference between transfer printed ceramics that are made in England and Chinese export porcelain that's hand-painted, made in China, specifically for the export market to the Western Hemisphere. So we'll start with a little bit of Chinese export porcelain. That's a piece that you see right here. It's entirely hand-painted, and the big clue for archaeologists that it's porcelain is to look on the side. That bright white color of the paste lets us know that's porcelain. The materials that were used in Europe to make similar ceramics look a little bit more off-white or sort of buff colored. However, the Chinese export porcelain market was huge, and the English wanted to get in on that. So what they started doing was making a type of ceramic called chinoiserie. And chinoiserie is basically the European adaptation of Chinese designs. But instead of hand painting them, the English used a method of printing called transfer print, where basically they would carve into a copper plate an intricate design. They would then ink that plate, lay that inked plate onto a piece of tissue that they would then remove and place onto the ceramic, where the design would be transferred from the plate to the tissue to the ceramic. You get designs like what you see right here. This beautiful lobed chinoiserie dish here. This is what we call pearlware, so it's a European-made earthenware. And if you looked at the side of that piece, you would see it's sort of that off-white colored paste, a really good clue that it's pearlware. You would also see there's sort of a blue pooling in the glaze. That's a chemical that the English added to the glaze to make the pearlwares look more like that Chinese export. This fragment right here is a piece of a dessertware that we recovered here at Montpelier. It's a chinoiserie pattern. It has a little fence on it, much like the fence you see in this one. It also has a little bridge with men walking across it, like you see in the whole piece. These chinoiseries were incredibly popular. The most popular pattern design is one called willow, but we find all different types here at Montpelier. The most common pattern that we find here at Montpelier is actually one called Bamboo and Peony. This was made by the Davenport Company in England, in the United Kingdom. And when we find it here, it's in all of these different amazing vessel forms, from huge platters like this one, and you can see this piece lines up perfectly with this one, to tiny little plates like this. This shows us that the Madisons had a huge collection of this blue and white pattern, that they used it for their full dinner service, which would have included about 300 different pieces and forms of vessels. We find hollowwares, so bowls, your everyday plates, and of course these serving pieces. The other thing that they would have done is they would have mixed and matched all of this blue and white ceramic together. So their Bamboo and Peony would have sat next to their other chinoiserie pieces and right next to their Chinese export porcelain, making a beautiful tablescape of blue and white ceramics that reflected each other without having to be so matchy-matchy. So that's a little clue into how we understand the ceramics on the dining room table here at Montpelier.